These insurance premiums, they don't stop going up. They keep rising and rising and rising. What the hell is going on here? Today I want to educate the policyholder, which all you public adjusters and policyholders, you guys are all policyholders. Every one of us has an insurance policy. We need one. Our mortgage company requires one. And pretty much, I know as much as you want to be self-insured and you can give that a route, you can give that a try, but the majority of us, probably over 95% of us, need to have an insurance policy. What the hell do we do? I'm going to give you the top 3 reasons why insurance premiums are on the rise. Let's do it in 3, in 2, in 1. What's up, advocates? Welcome back to another episode of the Commercial Claims Show. I am your host, the Commercial Claims Advocate, Vince Perri. I'm the owner, CEO of Elite Resolutions and Commercial Claims Advocate as well. Make sure that you subscribe here. Every Wednesday, we've got more content for you. And let me tell you, we've got some things in the works that are going to knock your socks off. I had been looking for an accountant for years, and I was unable to find anybody that I liked, that I worked with, and was able to do what I needed to be done to my taxes and to my accountant. Jeremy David at Noble Wealth has been a godsend to me, my family, and my company. We have saved so much money in taxes I can't even begin to describe, and he knows what he's doing. You need to call Jeremy at Noble Wealth and get yourself the right accountant, because he's the man who's going to help you save on taxes. Because ultimately, you don't want to be making money, especially if you're self-employed, and having it all go to the IRS. Call Jeremy, call Noble Wealth, and they will help you tremendously with the entire accounting process and your tax situation from A to Z. Additional living expenses is one of the most difficult parts of an insurance claim. And the reason is it's very high pressure. And as a public adjuster or contractor, you're already dealing with the negotiating of the build back process. You don't want to have to deal with ALE as well. Black Diamond Housing Services does all of that. They don't even charge the client. They bill it directly to the insurance company. It's all covered under the ALE coverage. So you need to call Black Diamond if you have a house that has been severely lost, whether it's like severe mold, severe water, fire, or anything like that, where they need a place to stay. Call Black Diamond Housing Services and they'll be able to take care of your client from beginning to end. We're going to knock your socks off. We're giving you some 3 tips, and not even tips. It's actually just 3 reasons why I believe, in my opinion, insurance premiums are going through the roof. Obviously, I'm in this industry. I've been in this industry for over 15 years now. I've been through it. Pretty much everything in regards to an insurance claim, I've probably been through it. I've been through just years of rising and falling insurance premiums and insurance rates, and I've been through easy claims and hard claims and difficult claims and complicated claims. I've been through it all, and frankly, what we're experiencing now, I don't think I've experienced. I live in Florida. We're licensed we're coming up on about 17 states, but I live in Florida, and for the majority of my career, I've worked Florida claims, and I've seen crises happen. When we had storms in 2004 and in 2005, I think combined we had about 6 major hurricanes that hit Florida. That was a crisis that we had. A lot of people forget that, but we had insurance companies dropping like crazy. They didn't want to insure anymore. They slashed our percentages as public adjusters that we could charge, and just all kinds of crap that we were dealing with. I remember in 2007 and 2008 and 2009 that people, they forgot about. And then what happened was we didn't have a hurricane until 2017, which is one of the things I'm going to get into as to one of the reasons why I believe insurance premiums are rising. So why don't we get into it? Reason number 1 that insurance premiums are rising, not a very sexy reason, but it is what it is. Reinsurance premiums are rising as well. Don't know what reinsurance is? Go ahead and look it up, or I can tell you. Reinsurance is basically insurance companies, insurance for insurance companies. That's right. If you did not know, insurance companies also have insurance. And it's an actual company that provides insurance to insurance companies. They provide them this insurance in case they reach a certain threshold of payouts for insurance claims, that now their reinsurance kicks in, gives them a chunk of money so that they could pay the remainder of those insurance claims that they have to pay. Well, guess what? Reinsurance were actually the first ones to start jacking up premiums because of all the hurricanes and all the storms that we've been getting slammed with, and all kinds of different reasons. Reinsurance has actually gone through the roof. And as a matter of fact, it's up 50% since last year. Well, I don't know if it's since last year, but it's just gone up 50%. So reinsurance premiums have gone so high that it has caused insurance companies to raise their premiums as well. Obviously, right? That makes perfect sense. It is a business decision. Well, it's always a business decision, but if they're going to charge you more for your own insurance, as obviously as a result, as the insurance companies, they're going to charge more for your premium. So in case you didn't know that, and you didn't even know that insurance companies had insurance, it is called reinsurance, and the premiums have gone up 50% over the last couple of years, which is now one of the reasons why insurance companies have raised their rates as well. A couple things that I wanted to note is Florida is number one in premium costs. So just so you guys know, I think if I remember studying this stuff when I worked for State Farm a long time ago, I believe it was New Jersey, New York were some of the highest premiums. As far as property damage or property insurance is concerned, Florida is number one. It's been the average, on average, Florida premiums have gone up. The average amount of the premium has gone up 42% in the last year. That's 42%. And 13 companies have gone insolvent in Florida over the last year. 13. That's a lot. Chances are the insurance that you have now was a different insurance that you had before, because that company that you had before no longer exists or doesn't write anymore in Florida. So two things are happening in Florida. Either insurance companies are dropping out. Last one that we just had drop out was Farmers Insurance, completely dropped out of Florida. And they're just going bankrupt. They're going broke. Now, there's a lot of things that are coming out in regards to the going bankrupt issue and going broke issue. A lot of things going on behind the scenes that I don't know enough about to talk to you about. But there are some people that I'm in the works of talking to, so to reveal some information. A lot of fraudulent type things going on behind the scenes that, once again, I don't feel knowledgeable enough to talk about. But the fact is 13 companies have gone insolvent in Florida over the last year, and the average price of the premium has gone up 42%. Reason number two that insurance premiums are going up, I mean, we've got inflation right now, right? I think everybody knows that we may not be in an economic crisis at the moment, whether you believe so or not. I mean, I don't know whether we are, whether or not we're close to it. But I think everybody can see. For those of you that live in Florida, for those of you that don't live in Florida, we have a very famous grocery chain called Publix. And if you guys go to Publix now, I was just there yesterday. I might have bought 6 things and I spent over $90. Inflation is real. Okay, things are much more expensive. This monitor that I'm looking at right now is double the price than when I purchased it 2 years ago. So inflation is there. Everything costs more. So obviously insurance rates are going to cost more. But the reason why I believe it's costing more is because of construction. Construction prices have gone through the roof. Right? Everybody knows this. The price of wood, the price of lumber, the price of all these things. You go to Home Depot, all these prices that you saw were a certain price before are double and triple now. So what does that mean? You're having to pay out more for insurance claims as well. So if your normal insurance claim for a new roof was, say, $10,000 a few years ago, it's probably $15,000 or $20,000 now. Again, I think people need to understand, and I'm not an advocate for the insurance company. I'm an advocate for the people. I've been for over 15 years. But the fact of the matter is the insurance company, it's a business, okay? And if they see that, one of the reasons why, if they see that their normal insurance claim is paying out more than it used to, well, we need to figure out how we could justify for that. And if one of those reasons is because of construction costs, well, guess what? They're going to raise their premiums as well. So that's another reason why I believe that possibly, maybe inflation, right, and construction costs have just gotten higher. But that's another reason why I believe insurance premiums have gone up. And my last and final reason number 3, if I lose half my audience for this, that's okay. Because whether you believe in climate change or whether you don't believe in climate change, you're crazy to not realize or to not see that it's not just that it feels hotter outside, but in my lifetime, all these funky and crazy storms. Just in Florida alone, we've had so many catastrophic hurricanes in just the last 4 years that it's really, really amazing. And it's great for business, right? But obviously, if it continues to happen, insurance rates are going to go up just because of the simple reason that it's higher risk. I think people need to understand that normally, again, we don't know what goes behind the scenes, but normally the reason for a particular insurance rate and the reason why your rates go up, it all has to do with risk. Are you a higher risk today than you were yesterday? If you're a higher risk today than you were yesterday, then your insurance rate is going to go up based on that risk. So if you get in multiple car accidents, you are higher risk of getting into a car accident, and guess what? You're going to pay higher rates. If you have a 16-year-old with a license, you have to get insurance, chances are 16-year-olds are going to get in accidents, you have to pay higher rates. If you live on the beach in sunny Western Florida, where there's all the kinds of possibility of you getting hit by a storm, you're going to pay higher rates. So if the state of Florida, for example, has been getting hit more by storms, or if the state of Ohio and Oklahoma have been getting hit by tornadoes more often, and if California, there's more droughts, which have caused more fires, guess what? Your rates in California today are going to be higher than they were before, because they've looked at the data and there's a ton more fires occurring in California than there was before. So that is the most, in my opinion, the most obvious reason why insurance premiums are going up. Now, here's the thing. If this global warming thing really is happening, let's face it, people, the scientists all say that it's happening. So if you want to disagree with it, by all means, go ahead. And if you want to stop following my channel, that's fine too. But I think we're reaching like a certain, 1 point something degrees Celsius, or I don't know, whatever it is. If that's the reason why all these storms are coming, I don't see insurance premiums going down. Now, if, however, I told you I experienced this before, we had about 6 or 7 storms come through Florida in 2004 and 2005. Insurance premiums, they went through the roof. But guess what happened after I came in 2008? And I remember by around 2009, 2010, 2011, insurance rates started to go down. Insurance companies started to come back into the state of Florida and writing in Florida, and everything kind of went back to its status quo it was before that 2004 season. I expect the same thing to happen if there's no major storms that hit Florida over the next couple of years. We need a break, okay? We need a break. And I know I have a huge public adjuster audience, and I know that storms are great for business, and door knocking after a storm and going up on a roof and taking to see if there's damage, blah, 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 all the stuff that goes on. Storms are a big part of our revenue, of our money that we have to help feed our families. We need storms, but we also don't need the pressure that we're getting from the lobbyists, from legislation, law changes. I mean, we've lost some major advantages in regards to having the ability to file a lawsuit over here. There's all kinds of limitations and exclusions and endorsements on the policy that just weren't there before. And it's been very, very difficult. And I do believe if we don't get a storm for, let's say, 3 or 4 years, a lot of that stuff will come back to normal. There will be more insurance companies writing. We'll have less exclusions and endorsements for actually a decent price, and it'll go back to normal. But if we keep getting storms like this, and those hot, I was at the beach 2 weeks ago, and that water was hot. Felt like a hot spray. So I don't know, but that's another reason why I do believe that insurance premiums are going up, not because of global warming necessarily, just because of the amount of catastrophic storms that we have had hit in Florida, Louisiana, Texas, California. It's had a huge effect on the insurance premiums and why they're so high. So what do we do? What do we do to make sure, what do we do? There's nothing that we can do except honestly give it time, because it's really not up to us. Hopefully the OIC, the Office of Insurance, OIR, Office of Insurance Regulation, they're able to do some stuff, but there's not really much that we can do as consumers or even as public adjusters. So my advice is the number one advice that I give to people when shopping around is make sure that you're asking your agent the right question. Remember, your insurance agent, I'm sure he's the nicest person, but he's an agent for the insurance company. And he's going to be selling you stuff that maybe you don't want. Ask the right questions. You want to know, what are the endorsements? What are the exclusions on the policy? I want to know. Instead of just knowing what your premium is, what your limit is, and what your deductible, find out what exclusions are on this policy. What endorsements are on this policy? Could you tell me the major changes that have occurred to this policy over the last 3 years? I want to know. These are things that you have to be aware of before paying for an insurance policy. The next thing, besides asking the right questions to your insurance agent, is ask them if there's any other options that they offer besides the ones that they're offering you. There's a rumor going around, and I'm going to get more information on this, that apparently there's hundreds of insurance companies that write in the state of Florida. But for some reason, we only know about 4, 5, or 6, or 7, or 8 of them. It's always the same insurance companies that they offer you. I would ask the insurance agent, say, hey, I've heard that besides these insurance companies, there are more. Do you offer any more? And if he tells you no, then shop around. Maybe there's an insurance agent that does. Or maybe you could find a list, which again, I'm working on this, so continue to follow the channel. If I get this list and I confirm that it is true that there are hundreds, I'm going to send you that list so that you can go ahead and you can contact the insurance company directly. Now, maybe because they don't offer these other insurance companies, it's because they're just so expensive and they're so small that maybe it's not worth it. That's a possibility. But there's also the possibility that it's the big wigs that get the advantage. and that give the best perks to the insurance agents that push these policies, that's definitely a possibility. And if that's the case, then we need to do something about it. So ask them if they offer anything else, or just say, hey, I don't want these exclusions. I don't want a water damage endorsement. I don't want a right to repair where they're going to send their own contractors. Okay. I don't want those things in my insurance policy. So therefore, what do you have that doesn't offer that? Hopefully they can give you an answer. And the last thing is I know that there is insurance breaks for protecting your home. So if you could afford it, make sure that you get a nice sturdy roof. Make sure that you have hurricane impact windows or just sturdy windows. Make sure that you are protecting your home which way you can, because there's a lot of discounts and stuff that you get for doing that. I'm not an insurance agent, so I don't know all the things that you can do, but make sure that you have your home nice and protected just in case. But that's all I've got. This is a great video, public adjusters, to talk to your clients. But if you're a policyholder, those are the reasons why I think insurance premiums are going up. Number one, reinsurance costs have gone up. Number two, construction costs have gone up. And number three, storms like crazy. Way too many catastrophic storms for any knowledgeable or reasonable insurance company to understand that, hey, I need to raise these rates because we're paying out a boatload of money in insurance claims. So those are the three reasons why. I hope you guys got educated. Every Wednesday, guys, we have another video for you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel below. It's an awesome channel. I know a lot of people that just continue to just binge on it, and I hope you enjoy it too. We've got some changes that I hope you like, and that's it. If you're struggling and waiting forever and a day to get paid on your claims because you have to wait for the mortgage company, you have to wait for the client, you have to wait for all of these things, Iink Payments by Iink solves that for you. By simply uploading it onto their system, everything gets processed and you get directly deposited your fee into your bank account. Choose Iink Pay and make sure that you use the promo code VINCE so that you can get $299 off the initial registration fee. So go ahead and check it out, Iink Payments. We've been using it for a long time. Everybody needs an attorney on their side. So whether you're a public adjuster, a contractor, or anyone else in the insurance claims business, make sure that you have an attorney that you could rely on, that you can go to for questions whenever you need it. That guy for me for the last 12 years has been David Farber. David Farber is the owner of the Farber Law Firm, and he has been there for me from the beginning of my career until now. And I would love for him to be able to help you as well. So make sure you call him at this number here and visit his website so you can learn more about the amazing David Farber of the Farber Law Firm. Let's see, you go on commercialclaimsadvocate.com. If you're a public adjuster, you want to get some consulting, that's where you want to go. And you go on eliteresolutions.com, ton of frequent FAQs and frequently asked questions that we have on there. A lot of information for you. Also, if you want to come work for us, we're always taking in applications. I'm always looking for A players. So if you want to go ahead and apply to our company, that's great too. That's all I got, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great week. Kick ass, take names, and have a great time doing it. See you later, guys. Peace out.